Welcome to Save As Ability, a podcast to educate and inform you about disability employment issues. My name is David D'Arcangelo, and I'm your disability policy expert. We are all in various states of ability. That's what we're talking about today on Save As Ability. It's David D'Arcangelo. Welcome back for another episode. Help us out by like, subscribe, share, all of that stuff really helps our channel grow and helps us keep great content flowing for you. So let's get into it. You hear me say it all the time, but we are all in various states of ability. Think about it for a moment. When you're born, what are your capabilities? What's your ability at that moment, right? You're very reliant upon others to feed you and clean you and, all of that stuff. And then, whatever that is for the first several years of your life anyways. Is it 4? Is it 5? Is it 10? I don't know, whatever. What is it 20? Whatever it is, but it's some point, you begin to get your own ability to be more independent, more self-determined, right? And then if we live long enough, at the end of our life, it tends to be that some of those abilities may get altered or diminished. And now you're becoming more reliant upon others, right? Again, so we have this, Goldilocks 40 or 50 years or whatever it is, different people, different amount of years of where we're at, air quotes, full ability, right? Where we have maximum ability. But that's what I assert is that we're all in various stages of ability and we'll all encounter that. And some people a little bit more, some people a little bit less, some people to the extent where it will become a disability and they will be substantially limited in one or more life activities. I'm using the ADA definition there as one of the myriad of definitions that we've talked about, but just using that definition for a moment, a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more major life activities. At some point, we know by the data that somewhere between low end, maybe 8 or 10% or 12% is the ACS number, or maybe as high as the 20 or 25% number. That's the Burfus number and the WHO numbers, right? Those numbers. Somewhere in there, there's a percentage of people with disabilities, again, depending upon which definition we're talking about. So that's what we're talking about here. This episode is about embracing the richness of our human condition and the ways that we define ability or disability, right? So it's they're definitely both intertwined. And that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today, that we're all in various states of abilities and our abilities are unique. They're as unique as our fingerprints. No two people who have previously lived, who are living now, or who will ever live are going to be the exact same. They're not going to have, just like they're not going to have the same fingerprints, they're not going to have the same abilities, right? And, I go back to a quote from Michael Jordan. Ability got me into the gym, but the work got me to the championships. And I might be paraphrasing it, but it's something like that, right? So you can have natural God-given talents and abilities, but then it's up to you to put the work in, to challenge yourself, to, really have the discipline to go through the challenging part of, practicing and all of that stuff to develop that ability. All right. So ability isn't some fixed definition or destination. It's a journey. And it really is a fluid definition that's shaped by experiences, environments, circumstances, some of which are within our control. Some of them are not within our control. Okay. A large amount of people with disabilities are born with disability, but you know what? There's a large amount that age into disability. Matter of fact, the data indicates that probably more people age into disability than are born with a disability. Okay. And that's, I think, a large data point there is because so many people with disabilities are older. So they're tending to age into age-related disabilities. So that all goes to the fluid nature of ability and, how dynamic it is. And it really could impact, we keep going back to the American Community Survey because really what they do is they set up like 6 paradigms there of physical, mental, cognition, all of that. And then further, it's, are you having a difficulty seeing, hearing, with cognition, with ambulation, independent care, and self-living. I think those are the 6. But really, it encompasses all of that, right? So that's what we're talking about here. Nearly 86% of people with disabilities acquire their disability later in life. That's from the CDC. So, if we live long enough, many of us will experience the changes to our abilities. And sometimes it goes to the point where it becomes a disability. So what are we trying to do here? Well, we're trying to foster understanding because that then supports really everybody, improving our human condition. We've had whole episodes about improving our human condition. That's our goal here, right? And let's think about it for a second. So if we're all in various states of ability, then that really then gives rise to these other questions like, okay, so, well, what is the baseline, right? Like, what is normal? Does normal exist? It's a little bit of a philosophical question, but really that's what we're talking about here. And, we've got some data, like according to the Harvard Business Review, a study that they did in, I think it was it before COVID, or it might have been like 2020 or 2021 or something, but it was people with disabilities are 15% more likely to innovate in their workplaces when given the opportunity, right? So it just goes to show you, like, you can't keep a person down, regardless of their ability or whatever. They're going to adapt. They're going to improve their situation. And that's all part of ability and our human condition. And, we like to have an employment context here oftentimes. And that data point stuck out to me. So, again, it's about empathy. And, this is very real for Americans and our people, that we want to make sure we're providing access to opportunities to be able to achieve as much independence and self-determination as possible. That's the American dream. That's what we want. Yeah, there's barriers, and we've talked about it, that, somewhere close to 70%, I think the latest data is like 67% of all working age people with disabilities are not employed. And, there's still barriers there. So, but we got to overcome that. And we choose to focus on ability here. And think of all of like the good technology that has come on that can help us, whether it's screen readers or, there's prosthetics now, bionic limbs, and, all kinds of things to really be able to try to ameliorate, if there is a disability, to try to help people on their own terms, ameliorate that disability, to make it an ability, to turn something that generally society views as, a challenge into an opportunity. All right. So there's stuff out there to do this. I mean, we can monetize this. The global accessibility market alone is something like $26 billion or something like that. And that's from Fortune Business Insights. So there's huge economic opportunity there. So it makes the business sense, the business case works, but the human capital sense works as well. So it's a win-win when done well. So ability isn't a measure of you. What's a measure of you is what you choose to do with your ability. Again, whether you're a person with a disability or not, you have ability. So what are you going to do with it? You're going to work for it. You're going to try to develop it. You're going to be like Michael Jordan in the gym, working, shooting shot after shot. No, whatever your industry, whatever your occupation, or whatever it is you're trying to do, it's developing that. It's taking your ability, making good on it. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in our people. It's challenging sometimes, but you'll find a way. Stay at it. It's David D'Arcangelo, another episode of Save His Ability. I hope you have a great day. For more information about disability employment issues, please visit our website, disabilityemploymentsolutions.com. The Save As Ability podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, our YouTube channel at Disability Policy Expert, or wherever you stream your podcasts. Subscribe, stream, rate, and review our shows. Your ratings and reviews help our show reach new audiences. Produced by Pod Pro Entertainment. Save As Ability lives within a network of podcasts located at podproentertainment.com. #TheNewRadio. Again, my name is David Darkangelo, and I'm your disability policy expert. Until next time, thank you. I hope you have a great day.